Hello and welcome to episode 3 of this Sky Adventure series. Today we'll be focusing on Creosote. And just before I started this episode, I recorded a whole show going into detail about creating redstone furnaces, what goes in, and I've come to end the recording and my OBS had through an error. So I lost all that footage. Excellent. Anyway, so since last episode, I've obviously created the whole farm and it's in production. But I've extended this whole section out here. The loot loot bag automation has been going really well. We've got 2 stacks of emerald blocks there. And what else? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I covered in that last this episode that I've lost. I'll quickly just touch base on what I've got going here to create the creosote. We've got 20 redstone furnaces, so we've got 4 lots of 5. They're all upgraded with so we've got conversion kit. They're all upgraded with the reinforced conversion kits, and that gives me 2 of these augment slots. So we've got the pyrolytic conversion augment and just more of an efficiency augment there. Now the way this works is we have the energy condenser creating wood piles. It sends the wood piles off to the redstone furnace. The redstone furnace turns it into coal and creosote oil. The coal goes off to the compacting drawer and it pumps out coal blocks through the filter here into the overclock generator. And the generator powers all these guys. The creosote oil goes into the quantum storage tank, and so we've got 138 at the moment. Through all my testing, I've found that whenever I set this up, my game crashes. So at some point, I'm expecting my game to crash. It hasn't yet, so fingers crossed. If I right-click on the quantum storage tank, my game will definitely crash. That's just something that's always been the case. So I'm going to leave that well alone. Yeah, so what did I get? I'm not sure what else I covered, but we'll go with that. So that's all set up and ready to go. The next part of this process is to automate the iron drum, filling the iron drums, placing, breaking, all that sort of stuff. And the method I use is based on Chosen Architect's method with the auto placer and auto breaker. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I've sort of trimmed it down a bit, use less redstone, and it's pretty straightforward. So what I'll do is go ahead, make the bits I need to get that going, and I'll come back when it's in full swing. Just getting the iron drum placement and breaking automation happening. And I just want to go through and talk about the redstone transmitters and redstone receivers. So I had a little bit of issue with these in the past because I never right clicked it. And a little trick here when you place it down is you have to select analog mode. I never selected that, so I always had problems in the early stages when I was doing testing with these, but now I've got it pretty much nailed. So that was just a little tidbit that I found. So I'll briefly outline how this works. Again, this is just taken from Chosen Architect, the way he set it up in his Sky Adventures pack or playthrough. This comparator has a look at the drum and sees if it's full or not. It sends a redstone signal based on how full the drum is. It then passes that off to this redstone transmitter, and that transmitter sends it to the receiver. The receiver sends it to this comparator, which is in subtract mode. You just right click to enable subtract mode. This redstone comparator is getting a signal of 15 from this lever. It's just pumping that straight into there. So it's subtracting whatever is being sent to it. So once it's full, this redstone comparator gets a signal of 15, sends it to there, sends it to there. That gets a signal of 0 and tells the auto breaker to break the drum. Really, really efficient system. Works really well. If you can afford it, and I'll come back to what I mentioned when I started this series, this farm or production system works really well with a couple of watches of flowing time. These guys. So if you put a couple of them on some dark pedestals, they will just speed this production up quite a lot. And actually I might go through and make some of them now. It'll take me a little bit of time, so I'll pump them out and I'll come back. I've got the watches of flowing time up. They're all ready to go. So, well, actually, before I turn them on, let's just have a look at how fast this goes now. Not very fast at all. Turn one on. Oh, that's a lot better. A lot better. We turn 2 on. That's super quick. That's fantastic. Which means our drums should be filling up super quick. Yeah, that's really good. Break. Now, sometimes I've noticed that these drums will not start filling, and there's some issue with the conduit not automatically emptying. And that's been pretty much every playthrough I've done on this mod pack. It's done the same thing. I think there's actually another mod pack as well, which did the same thing. Oh no, it was this one. But yeah, so far, fingers crossed, nothing's happened. That's going really well. That's super good. I'm really happy with that. And that's just going to crank that out. One thing I do want to do from the last episode was I had this patient bag. I want to, now that I've got my watches of flowing time, I want to have a bag opener. Nope, they don't have EMC. But a stone. And what I want to do is put this up here near our bags. I'll just put it there. So we want to insert and extract, turn that on, and we want to self-feed. And it'll just sit here and crank this out super quick. We should get a nether star in no time at all. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Okay, so that pretty much wraps this episode up. We've got our Creosote automation happening. The only thing we need to worry about is just make sure this is getting a good supply of EMC, which it looks like it's about to run out. I might just grab a stack of that and that'll keep it going for a good while. make sure our drums are filling up, and look forward to next episode where we make our $1,000. I might just cache this question. We make our $1,000, so then we can start handing in our creosote, and we're a step closer to our tome of knowledge. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.